Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Group Chat Wrestling Podcast. You may be wondering why I'm introducing today and not your regular host, Mike. Unfortunately, he can't be with us today, but we will hopefully see him kicking about this Sunday. So it's got a very special edition of podcast for you today. We're going to be running down the All-In card as it has announced so far on Thursday evening. And giving our predictions and some pretty cool shit that we think is going to happen, which, based on some news that's broken today, could be pretty interesting. We could be in for a really, really exciting event. So what I think we'll do, we'll just let everybody introduce themselves. So I'm Dan. You can follow me on Twitter, DanwellKC. And yeah, I will be at All In bright and early, I think, hanging about for the whole day, I reckon.
I'm Blake, BCX on Twitter, and I will also be at All In, hanging about all day, getting pissed as fuck.
I'm Dov GWP on Twitter, and I'm actually not going to All In.
Boo. Boo. Unlucky. We'll miss you.
I'm on Twitter, but it's shit. And I will also be at All In.
Can you get one of those fellas that are offering tickets? Can you just get their ticket for free and then you can crash on my sofa?
It's getting down there, not mate.
Fair enough.
Nightmare.
Yes. Fair enough. I'm Wrestling Mark, and I suffer with chronic respiratory migraines.
Oh, yeah, we're very organised today. I can tell. we need Mike back. Mike, get well soon, fella.
Anyway, let's go straight into it. This is going to be the best
around.
Weekend. This will be the best weekend in AEW history, in my opinion. I cannot fucking wait for it. Dynamite was great last night. Atmosphere was incredible. The atmosphere for Collision is absolutely outstanding. If you're not planning on watching it this Saturday, watch it. You've got to watch it for the Big Bill match and for the Jeff Jarrett match, because it's incredible and it will set the tone for what kind of an atmosphere you can expect from the British fans, I think, on Sunday at Wembley. And
mate, I watched this. Yeah, I watched. If that's anything to go by, then we're in for a real treat at Wembley. Even with 50,000, well, over 50,000 now. We're in for just some seriously cool shit going down. But,
mate, it's gonna be fucking amazing.
Will we be spoiling anything on this episode?
Yes. Spoiler alert: there are some Collision spoilers in this.
It will be to do with the trios match, won't it? I think the trios match and the trios match alone. So we'll give a heads up before that if you want to fast forward a couple of minutes then, because there is a chance that we will.
Sorry, mate?
Wikipedia's already spoiled the trios match result.
To be fair. I'm sure Twitter has as well, but just in case anyone doesn't, when we get onto that match, we will give you a heads up beforehand that for the next couple of minutes we will be waffling about that match, and that will include the fourth and final team that confirmed last night.
And also, Wikipedia hasn't spoiled the fact that Big Bill is over as fuck. But we're spoiled for it.
Big Bill is the most over man.
They mentioned him, though.
It has worked. It's worked for the man. It's worked for the guy it wasn't intended to work for.
Yeah, it's amazing. Did you notice? I mean, because it was right in front of me that when when it was happening, and he obviously tried to get the crowd to turn on him, and it made them like him even more. It was Bryce doing that match, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was convinced they were calling an audible there. I was convinced.
I said to my mate, they've got to. It makes sense. But he turned to the ref and he goes, "I don't know what the fuck to do." They were his exact words. "I don't know what the fuck to do," because it had thrown him off so much. It was quite the spectacle. I've never ever seen anything like that in any live event I've gone to.
Well, it forced Jericho to pick a mic up when he really wasn't supposed to, and then getting the crowd to boo, and they still just carried on chanting Bill's name. Yeah,
it was honestly, it's worth watching for that alone, and for just the look on Jeff Jarrett's little face when he's getting a similar, not quite as intense reaction, but a very, very good reaction. The face on him and on Karen was quite amazing. They were very overwhelmed by the positive reaction. Big Bill seemed confused, and Jarrett was just absolutely lapping it up. Probably of the thinking, they finally appreciate me.
I guarantee you Taylor Swift will be watching that with a tear in her eye.
She's making a special appearance.
She's winning the Casino Gauntlet. She's winning the Casino Gauntlet. It's Herbie Danielson all out.
I'm hoping that you can hear my shout on the match actually when Jeff Jarrett's a bit like groggy looking, and I just go, shake it off, shake it off.
Excellent.
Right. Anyway, shall we start looking at this phenomenal and very long but very enticing card?
Go for it.
Let's do it.
Nobody does
Right.
long cards like Tony.
Nobody does a long card like Tony. Tony loves a long one.
Oh, mate, I
so-
still don't think it's finished. I still think we're going to get a couple more matches announced by the
Well,
time this is released. So
Well,
I mean, I'm sure we are.
0 hours, 2 hours, isn't it?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I think
they
RJ
announced that the other day.
What time? What time do they want us in the arena then? 4 o'clock.
I haven't got a
I think
clue.
so.
Three
Yeah,
o'clock
I think
is
it's like
opened, I think.
Oh no! I mean, Jesus.
We're gonna need a hip flask on each fucking leg.
That's a yeah. For anyone listening who's going, I will warn you, if you haven't been to Wembley before and you want to have alcohol inside, they don't have the best selection. It's often beers out of cans that they charge you about £8 for. So be mindful that if you want something good, you might have to sneak it in, like I did last year, by duct taping a hip flask to your thigh, because they won't touch your thigh because it's sexual abuse.
Yeah.
One thing I will say is when we went to ACDC last month, me and my daughter, they did do some pretty cool fucking cocktail slush things.
At Wembley, did they? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't my idea. She got one, and it was fucking gorgeous.
Banging. Oh, right, nice. Well, that's interesting. Then I didn't know that. That's something else. Then
Up a little bit, but I'm still taking.
They might,
it because,
or just get pissed before you even enter, and just try and look sober when you get past security.
But it's the maintaining it. That's the thing. If I go in, if I've had a good few drinks and I go in there feeling good, 2 hours in 21, 22 degree heat, I'm going to be knackered. I'm going to I'll crash out. So it's all about like the maintenance more than anything. But anyway, so I tell you what then, as we've mentioned that we think there might be another match or two. Let's have a think about that before we go into the actual card. If anything gets added to it, what do you think it will be?
Ooh, that is a real tough one because again, it's one of those ones like we talked about it last week, I think, about how they don't need, or earlier this week, they don't need to have like a build or much of a build, like like Forbidden Door was exemplary of that. So I think we could probably get like a couple of tag team matches, like Top Flight, for example, or Private Party, Cage of Agony, whoever, those kinds of random tag teams who, if they can't make up the numbers in the gauntlet, then throw them all together, see what happens. Because we said like last year there was 2 segments essentially, which could essentially, for the time they were given, they could make up 2 matches this year. And we had 2 pre-show matches last year, but we had 9 on the main card, whereas this one we've already got the 9 on the main card. So I think we're due at least 2 or 3 new matches. But with the roster size and with the sort of feuds, all the ones that have been played out on screen seem to be like taking place on the main card, apart from obviously the one that we know is announced. So yeah, maybe some kind of tag team battle royal, or 4 corners match or something like that, just to get the crowd humped up. Just give them 10 to 12 minutes, see what happens as people are finding it.
There is every chance that something did get announced on Rampage last week, because that hasn't. Obviously, we don't know what happened on that show yet. There could have been a backstage. There could even be a backstage segment they didn't actually air in the arena on Collision.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's not impossible. But I envision. My prediction is that they'll add. I think Top Flight and Leo Rush will be in a trios match, because I don't think they flew them all the way over here just to do Collision. I feel quite convinced that will be a match on the day. I think that we will get Saraya storming out, moaning she hasn't got a match on the pre-show, and that will somehow get her an open challenge during the match, which Jamie Hayter will answer and beat her in a matter of seconds.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't mind a tag team battle royal. There's enough tag teams there that but again, is Tony Khan going to bring over the Outrunners, Righteous, Gates of Agony, and 4 or 5 other teams to make a battle royal up? Just to have them be on screen for the best part of 2.5 minutes for some of them. I don't know. It'd be interesting.
Yeah, the Outrunners aren't over, are they? They're doing a pay-per-view hosted.
Yeah, they're doing a live stream, I think, aren't they?
And I don't think the Cage of Agony are either, from what I could tell, which is absolutely gutting, because I was really hoping to see Brian Cage live. I predict that the match added to 0 Hour will be the Ring of Honor Trios title match. I think it's going to be Dustin and the Von Erichs, probably
Top
Flight. Yeah, Top Flight with Leo Rush.
That's interesting. That's first good shot.
He's an happy boy after getting his Gregs today, wasn't he? So
Yeah.
Was.
But
you
yeah,
see there?
Dustin and Von Erichs are there, aren't they? So I think that's probably going to be the Ring of Honor title match.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, yes. So Soraya on the pre-show, whether she has a match on the pre-show or whether she teases something and then has something on the main card, which is when we get the Jamie Hayter return. And that's, to me, if they're not going to pair her with Britt, which doesn't seem likely, given the backstage news and all that kind of stuff, that seems like the most logical way to re-establish her home,
Absolutely.
Not hometown really, but like like a home country pop for Jamie is long overdue considering she missed last year, and I think that's going to be one of the highlights of the show, whether it's on the pre-show or not. I think it's going to be.
They won't have her on the pre.
It can't
I can't imagine they can't put Jamie Hayter. It's too important. Also, there's a good chance a lot
I
of the
really
crowd
hope
won't
they
be
don't.
in.
Yeah,
I'd bet money
it's
on
full
that.
packed out. Yeah,
your open challenge on the pre-show with the match to follow on the main card.
Yeah.
And like we say, it's got to be a squash. It's got to literally just be an excuse for 5 minutes of Jamie Hayter, airtime essentially, and just get the crowd going.
Yeah.
If you do that on the pre-show, though, it shows. If you make a match on the pre-show for the main event like that, you know something big's going to happen, don't you?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Hypes it up.
Yeah, that's a good point. So that's a few more potential buys, and that'll be obviously the intention if people really think there's a 70-80% chance that you're getting Jamie Hayter on the card. So yeah, that should be good.
100%,
so anyway, what we do know we've got on the pre-show is obviously the mixed tag match, which should be a bit of fun.
I'd 100% think that Statlander is going to hit their finisher on Ishii.
She hit Saturday Night Fever on Ishii. Yeah.
That is the
I
finish.
think Stokesley's going to surprise us all with his in-ring skills as well.
Yeah, I do as well.
He was great last night, Stoke.
Yeah, he's always.
I'm going to go for a left field prediction. I'm going to go for a left field one because I think the reason Stokely's in the match is so he can take a pinfall. He's not a wrestler. He can take the pinfall. So I think Willow is pinning him and choosing the stipulation because Stat beat her to earn the CMLL title match. But Willow can pin Stokely, get him out of the picture, and then she chooses like that stipulation.
What do you think the stipulation will be?
I mean, my heart feeling says like dog collar match.
Yeah,
because I think that would be so sick. The first women's dog collar match would be so sick. It's the perfect feud ender for them.
100%.
Around for ages, hasn't it? So like, you'd like to think someone's took notice of that and been like, actually, that's a great idea.
Yeah, I've banged that drum enough. I'm hoping that someone it makes sense. It'll be good that they'll both put their all into it. It'll be nice and brutal. Going back very quickly to what we said, I do think there'll be something with the women on the pre-show as well, simply because Thunder Rosa was at the show last night. If anyone saw that little gig at Britt Baker,
they've got to go with this going forward. I mean, they've got to use this. The amount of slide digs Thunder Rosa's had on Twitter since that news the other week, they've got to push forward with this and that. Just do business.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's a case where Britt can actually, play ball with them and everything. So,
well, maybe they will kind of, like you say, maybe they'll set something up. I mean, I'm assuming the feud with the Honor's done now, is it? Like, it seems to be going on forever. Some great matches.
Well, I think it's going to be best of 7, isn't it? Isn't it 3-1 at the moment?
I can't remember now. I think they've had 4 matches, and I think you're right. I think it's.
I'm sure Deanna won 3 in a row, didn't she?
Yeah, she won the singles.
There's legs left in that.
The no DQ and the Texas Death. No, Thunder won the Texas Death. She won the Bull Rope. Sorry, Thunder won the Bull Rope. Yeah, that was it. And then 100%. Okay, now, but it could go on. But Deanna and Britt are actually real good friends, so there's a natural link there to link back up with Britt and have Thunder as a common enemy. Enemy of the enemy is my friend kind of thing.
Yeah. And there's every chance that Thunder and Britt have, for all we know, that they could be absolutely fine now, and this could just be putting things in place for after this, because it'll be nice if it is, because there's a few that people can get invested in. It's something else, again, away from the title picture, something else that we can get invested in that we care about, like we have with Willow and Stat. So it feels like it's a win-win as long as they play ball, which I don't see any reason they wouldn't.
You'd hope they have, because Like it would otherwise, it's a waste of MJF doing interviews last week telling people it was nothing, and that
Yeah.
overreacting.
Yeah.
If Thunder Rose is going to carry on fucking poking the bear instead of just
Yeah.
kind of getting on with it, because there's too many of these fuckers that do this, and they end up trying to sabotage their own fucking colleagues, over stupid shit. Like MJF's had it fucking done and dusted now. It's swept under the rug. It's over. Move on. Unless it is going to be a story, which hopefully that's what they're doing.
I hope so. I think a lot of things will just take direction after All In, and because this seems to be like the culmination of a lot of stuff, but then also where you kind of plan the next, like the last quarter of the rest of the year, kind of thing.
I think that's. I feel that's the case with All Out. I think a lot of things will overlap because again, there's not really much time to start many new things. So a lot of things will be intertwined with them. With obviously with Willow and Stat. With probably I'm still thinking Daniel Garcia and MJF. With Ospreay and Ricochet, maybe that will come in straight into play. Swerve, Hangman, Danielson be the winner of the. Again, Hangman could leave Wembley as champion. You don't know here.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's not impossible that Hangman leaves Wembley as champion.
Yeah.
So they've set that up nicely. So shall we? So again,
Moxley or whatever. Yeah.
Exactly. So we've kind of covered the pre-show. Anyone else got anything before we hit the main card? Any thoughts?
Well, do we think there's going to be any other matches besides the couple that we speculated? A trios match and Saraya and possibly something with Thunder Rosa?
There's nothing that I can think of yet.
A top flight match, I think. A 6-man with top flight, like Mark said.
Yeah,
I think that's...
with Dustin and Von Erichs, they're over. So over. Not as over as Big Bill, but they're in the UK. So hopefully,
I tell you what, it'll be fucking great if the crowd get behind Big Bill during the Jericho Hook match again.
Yeah,
just sabotage that. Forget that match. Just a Big Bill chant with 50,000. There'll be because if that happens again, then that will continue, and they'll have to write that into the storyline now. If it gets dropped at Wembley, I think it's a one and done. It's a Fandango the night after WrestleMania back in 2015, whenever that was, 2016. But if Wembley do it, then I'll feel there's a real obligation on the Dynamite crowd next week, although there's going to be fucking no one there at the moment in this random part of Illinois that I've never heard of. There's like 1,300 tickets sold. But they should be continuing it, and then it should be a big thing, and it should then be Jericho getting jealous of Big Bill until Big Bill turns and gets his little push, because that'll be it'll be quite impressive if the Cardiff crowd completely change the course of a storyline. Speaking of storylines, let's get into the main roster, the main card then. And should we start off with the women's title match, which again is one of 6 or 7 matches that can potentially steal the show, I think. So obviously the long-term feud, Toni Storm and Mariah May. What are we thinking for that one?
Well, I think this has come up like every podcast we've done since we actually have learned about the match, to be honest. And I think I'm sticking with my initial prediction. I think this is when Toni drops it. She's had a fantastic run as champion. Like, her match with Saraya was actually quite fun, despite the little, the little World of Sport moment and everything like that, which I thought was a nice touch. I think this is where it all this is Mariah's crowning moment. She's walking out as champion, and I think we get Mina Shirakawa is going to factor in to the match at some point. Like, Mina's probably going to turn heel, side with Mariah, and say, "I'm so proud of you. This is the Mariah that I've wanted, to take to the next level."
Were they a heel team? Were they a heel team when they were together?
No, I don't think they are, mate. I think all the time they've been like baby faces. I could be wrong.
Right. Okay.
Like, someone correct me by it, but as far as I'm aware, they've been hugely popular when they were in Stardom under like Empress Nexus Venus, and cause Mina's got a bit of a pop culture following. Like, she's been an actress, a singer, a dancer, whatever. So she's got a bit of like that sort of casual crowd, if you like, and she's quite popular. But yeah, even like now, like her and Mariah as like a full blown heel duo, would be quite sick. So a nice little a swan song for Toni in her tremendous run as champ, and that's what I think we're getting. Mariah full blown heel, carrying us into All Out.
Yeah, I'm going for Mariah victory as well, and I think Toni Storm's going to take a couple of months off afterwards, then come back.
A couple of months off.
After she's carried the women's division for the last however long, year and whatever it is. But yeah.
Yeah, Mariah, same as you. I think Mina could go the other way though. You know, I think it's too obvious to have Mina side with Mariah. She could be disappointed in Mariah. She could come back and be like, "Look, this isn't the Mariah I knew. What's going on?"
It could be that. I don't know. It could just be that. I mean, that's probably the women's title match for All Out. Do we think?
I think they're going to save that until. I think they join together and then they do a match at the Wrestle Dynasty pay-per-view because it's in Japan.
Right.
How long
the night after Wrestle Kingdom?
Because she's only temporarily over, isn't she?
Yeah.
She's not like signed or anything. She's going to be over for a few weeks or something, like a couple of months. Then she's going to go back, and then that's why I think the Wrestle Dynasty match makes sense.
It could be All Out then if that's the case.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah,
make the most out of it while they've got it, and then build towards Wrestle Dynasty.
I think we're pretty unanimous, aren't we, in that though, that we're going to see a new women's champion there.
Oh, yeah,
the story's gone on for so long, hasn't it? Like it seems to be culminating at this is the end of Mariah beating Tony. It's what it's all leading to.
If the story, honestly, if it doesn't finish this weekend, not finished, but you know this stage, it's just going to be one of them Triple H fucking moments, and you know when you're just being told, oh, the story's still on, and you're just like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
you should have pulled the trigger.
Yeah, agreed.
So right, next up we've got the AEW American Championship, as it's known, probably for 2 or 3 more days. MJF and Will Ospreay.
Yeah, we're going to disagree with you on that one, Mark, because I think that MJF is actually winning at Wembley, as much as the crowd is going to be on the edge of its seat. Like, you know, I think this is the one that's going to steal the show personally, or at least part of it whenever it takes place. I think MJF's winning. To be honest, I think it's going to involve. I don't know whether Garcia factors into the finish. I think we get an appearance, but I maybe after the match. But I honestly think Don Callis is going to get involved and cost Ospreay the match, and it's gonna protect him. And then we start the build to next year at Wembley. Well, no, sorry, not Wembley. Next year in London, when I think Will win the title, like the world title, that is.
I think MJF's winning as well. I think something's going to happen, and Will's going to then need to surround himself with people and start the new United Empire in AEW. Carl Fletcher, whoever. Go from there, but yeah. I don't know where Garcia factors into that, but
this is my sole thinking. That's why I'm going for an Ospreay win, because I think MJF goes to cheat. There's shenanigans. This will be the one ref spot of the night, I think. And just as he's about to win, I think that's where Garcia gets involved. And it's the way the Tiger Driver spot they've built into it. They've made it seem so much. I feel that's going to be pivotal to this match. And I feel that they've built it for enough months now that this is the conclusion of that story again. Same with Mariah and Tony. I think it concludes with that being the finish of the match. Garcia returns, costs MJF. That sets up their match for All Out. And then Ospreay wins the title. I'd imagine he will have a match at All Out against Ricochet, or the artist formerly known as Ricochet.
I don't know if I'm still under the influence from drinking last night, but I think Garcia does return, and I think he costs Will Ospreay.
Yeah, you're still under the influence of alcohol from last night.
I don't know. I was thinking that, but I don't know if it makes any sense considering MJF
beat the fuck out of him.
I think he just takes it that look, you can't be nice. You can't be nice. MJF shown him you can't be nice. You have to be a selfish prick to get anywhere. He's been nice for the last 12 months, and done fuck all. Yeah, the fans like him. He dances. They like that, but he needs to have that killer instinct, that mean streak.
Interesting.
And I think
don't dislike this.
I think he completely fucks us all over, and he costs Will Ospreay.
I quite like that. I'll be honest. That's my favourite of all the things we've said. That's my favourite thing that could happen, to be fair.
A good way to put him over and do it properly is him come back and start off, he knocks out MJF, but then does it to Ospreay as well.
Good shout.
That'd be a good one, yeah.
Good shout.
Also, you had Daddy Magic reference him coming back. He didn't say he's coming back but he said he's going to be like Red Death.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if he is just a darker.
But wait,
fuck
yeah,
the
so then
dance
you get
song.
the Garcia return, but you can get MJF then beat Ospreay because of that, and it keeps him on the title. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Like I have, yeah.
And I just
I-
want to see Daddy Magic at some point as well. I want him to get involved as well, and I want Garcia to turn on him as well.
If he's on
I'm
commentary
really
for this
great
match,
that
I'd be stoked on that as well. Then
I want
then
Garcia to leave him a bloody mess.
yeah, because we still need the MJF Daddy Magic match as well, like you said, and like I don't think that story's been told. So that's why I think MJF's keeping the belt. I think Ospreay's going to split off and do his thing with the Don Callis family, as Dav said about the United Empire. I think
Same.
that's got legs now because Davis has got to be close to returning now because it's been nearly a year. And that I think needs closing. That chapter needs closing, and then you can allow MJF's character, his new kind of character, to grow. Like I get, being a Brit and watching all that, it feels like it doesn't really hit. Like it's never really going to hit like it is with, like the American crowds and everything. But I still think it has room to grow. Like the subtleties that he was alluding to about how Ospreay sort of took the fans away from him and him sort of losing his shit for like a few seconds. I think that was painfully obvious. Like then they reference that. I think there's nuances to explore here with MJF.
That was
I
a
think
brilliant
Ospreay
little bit
doesn't
last night.
Oh, it was brilliant. I love the promo.
So good.
I was just saying the last night MJF was back, like that was him at his best on the mic. And Ospreay hung with him as well. And Ospreay's had that thing of he can't talk. He fucking can.
The Barry Scott line was incredible.
It was good that year. It was. I think MJF's been back at his best since the heel turn. To be honest, I think he's just been phenomenal since the heel turn moment was incredible. It was impactful. It really sold us on him. Right, he is a fucking scumbag, and he's not here to get cheap pops anymore. And
people want to dislike him at the moment. People want to dislike MJF. They're looking for any old hole, any flaw in his promo game. They're gonna, again, it's the kind of thing. If he does 90% of it perfectly, but then there's 10% that's a bit of a dud. That's what's going to get focused on now. Whereas other people get the luxury of, if they say one good line in a promo and they waffle nonsense for the rest of it, they'll get the luxury of that being highlighted. They said one funny or one good thing. Like the promo last night, I think, was MJF's best promo since returning. Probably his best promo for over a year. But at the same time, I don't think any of his previous promos have been bad. I think they've been good. I think they've been better than most people can ever imagine doing. I think last night was exceptional. The end of it was brilliant. Like you can't criticize the end of that promo. It was perfect heel work. It was brilliant.
Mm-hmm. And I agree with you guys. Your suggestions that it's going to be a kind of reform of the United Empire. I think Davis is back. Fletcher's obviously going to split from Callis at some point.
I reckon Takeshita splits as well.
Yeah,
I reckon they all leave Callis and then
not immediately. I think he'll split before the end of the year towards like World's End, because I think they're going to go for after his performance in the G1. They're going to sort of have him be like the tournament wrestler, and I think that's where Takeshita ends up. And he doesn't need Don Callis anymore. Like he's been seriously held back.
They have to do something with Takeshita because he's one you do risk of losing if you don't.
100%.
The thing is, when he first had Don Callis, he was great because he just looked like a menacing fuck, and it only went to shit. Like I actually don't think Callis is bad for him. I think he actually is good because he gets good heel heat, and he kind of represents him. I think the problem with Takeshita was another example of Tony's inability to pivot when things go wrong. And when the Kenny Omega, what looked like was going to be a trilogy of matches between him and Kenny Omega didn't happen because Kenny Omega wasn't great. So we had a temporary golden jet, and then it actually turns out Kenny Omega's even worse. So he's out of action. He just didn't know what to do with him at that point.
No.
And he's just completely stumbled and it's my major criticism of Tony is that he can't pivot when things go wrong, and he tries to stick to his landing too much, and Takeshita just unfortunately got lost along the way there. It's a shame because he was, after beating Kenny Omega, he was hot as fuck.
Yep,
exactly. That was it All Out last year? They did the singles match where Kenny came out in the green gear, and then they went like 20 odd minutes and tore the house down, and then since then that felt like Takeshita's like last big singles win, like not including the G1 obviously because he had a fucking barn burner with that, but in AEW it just feels like he's just been treading water. I mean, because he'll still just go out there and put on like a fucking incredible match with whoever you put him against, whether it's Swerve, Claudio, Moxley, anybody. But he just needs that next step. I don't know where Takeshita fits in All In at the moment, but yeah, I think that the Ospreay and him need a rematch.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
That was the best match. That match was so good. Like that was easily the best match I've ever seen live in my life. But it was so good. There's so much more that those two can do together as well. So
yeah,
that's definitely something that we need to hopefully we revisit for the world title within the next 18 months or so.
Well, that's why I think he does need Callis.
I'm in the minority. I think that match is better than the Danielson Ospreay match, even though it's pretty close. I still prefer Takeshita Ospreay personally.
I think this is why he stays with Callis for me, and I think we end up getting Ospreay having to go through, a series of matches with Ricochet, and I think like Takeshita is more or less the final boss in that group.
Yeah,
and Powerhouse Hobbs is coming back soon as well, so his group's actually going to be quite tidy again.
Strong. It's a strong group.
Yeah, especially
and there's Roosh is still kicking about.
Yeah, because LFI are done, aren't they? So he gets the boot, and
for now anyway,
yeah, Carl Fletcher gets the boot. Mark Davis comes back, and you've got a great set of matches between some of those guys then as well.
Yeah.
And look, the tag division needs Aussie Open back. As good as Carl Fletcher is as a singles wrestler, we need a good tag team. We need someone to
absolutely.
That said, I actually thought FTR were brilliant last night, but I think it was because they were with Darby. They wrestled a little bit differently than they usually do.
I also think it was because of the crowd.
Possibly, yeah, possibly was.
The crowd.
I think they're always great. They're always, for me, they're always great. They're overexposed, which isn't their fault that the tag team division is so feeble in a way. Like there's so few teams you can invest in. That's not their fault. But I mean, I don't want to see them be Bucks again. But
I think you're right. I think it is a case of them being overexposed, and the reason it probably stood out more to me last night was because Darby was in there, and it did mix it up a little bit than one of the usual matches. The matches are always solid. They go out there and they can have good matches. Really. It's just that we have seen too much of them, and the same for the Acclaimed, and the same for the well, there is no other tag teams, is there? Outside?
No, there's no one that's a threat at the moment.
But anyway, we'll get to that. So yeah.
We mentioned Darby,
so yeah, let's segue into the coffin match next, because I've had an idea in my head for the last day or so, and now I'm obsessed with the idea of it. And I've ranted about it on Twitter as well.
Is this you're seeing that he's travelled over?
I saw he travelled over as well. That got me. That gave me the horn. I was excited when I saw that. So Darby Allin v Jack Perry for the TNT title. Who have we got for that one?
I think Jack wins, but I think Sting factors in the post match, or even during, when the Elite get involved, like Sting comes out of the coffin. We all want to see it. Like let's not kid ourselves. We all want to see him out of the coffin. And but I do think another thing, one that hasn't been mentioned yet, is that after the match, I think Copeland appears, because then we get to hear Metalingus at Wembley. He comes out, nothing physical, and he stares down Jack Perry and he says, I've got a couple more months, but you're mine. That TNT title has come back where it belongs. And then so the crowd gets to hear Metalingus be happy, and we've got a few set stone for probably Wrestle Dream, I expect.
It's a great idea. I think it's a good.
Wrestle Dream would be.
Are we talking about the rumours around Darby as well?
Around Darby, what?
The fact that the company's looking to put the world title on him.
I saw that today. I mean, that's going to happen, and it should happen. It shouldn't be any time imminently. There's history with him and Swerve. I think he takes the title off of Swerve to end Swerve. I don't know, because I think Hangman should take the title off him, so it's quite hard to say. Darby can't win the title yet. He's not. It's a late 2025 job. There's the title. I mean, there's so many people that should have the title at the moment. I want Danielson to have it. I want Swerve to then have another run. I want Hangman to take it off him. I want Darby to have his run. Will Ospreay's inevitably going to have a run at some point. When Kenny Omega comes back, we don't know how long we've got him for. I'd like him to have another reign at some point. So that is ridiculously stacked compared to any other company's top card and what you can do with the world title. But I don't think it's anytime soon. I don't think he wins it at Grand Slam. I think he loses his next two title matches, in my opinion. I don't think he has any gold by the end of this year.
So you're saying they'd run the Hangman story with him?
Where why not?
Continues to fail, and then finally.
He's going to want to do Everest again as well at some point, isn't he?
I was just going to say that. Yeah, he's already said that he wants to go again for Everest. That's going to take some amount of time out. That you can't put your belt on him.
So he's probably going to die.
Darby's just like the modern day Jeff Hardy. Like he can be in big matches and he can lose, and people still love him.
Definitely.
He's that sort of thing about
Defeats
him.
do not hurt him. He doesn't need to be rehabilitated from defeats. Other people need that rehabilitation.
But maybe at the end of the day, he loses again, and he thinks, do you know what? I'm going to have to join the learning tree and learn some new skills here.
Do not ruin him. We've gone away from the match here. So what? Like again, the Sting element. I think Sting's going to be in the coffin, and I'll be honest. I've built up in my head so much now. If Sting's not in the coffin, I'm going to be devastated and walk out because it just feels like it has to happen. I have to see Sting in that coffin now. Otherwise, all in. No matter what else happens, if Omega's there, Hayter's there, Danielson wins. It's a dud if we don't have Sting coming out of a coffin. The funny thing is, I think Sting does come out of the coffin, but I don't think Darby wins still. I think that the numbers game's still too much. I think Sting can come out and he potentially removes the Young Bucks who have come out from the situation. And then somehow Perry still wins, whether that's a Carter's interference or Dave McMahon's interference. I don't know. I think that Sting has an amazing, and that will be one hell of a pop if he pops out of there. That'll be up there with the Hayter pop we're hopefully going to get, and the Danielson winning the title pop. It will be incredible. It'll be such a great moment. I really think it happens.
What if Sting's lad's there with Sting?
That's a good point. Yeah,
because he was saying he said he started training. He said he actually fancies it now. What if he's there?
You see the Young Bucks and Okada come and try and try and get the numbers game on Darby, and then you the Sting and his two kids, even in the odds, and then you get the Copeland post-match promo.
You see one Sting.
When did Copeland get injured? Sorry, it was a double or nothing.
Yeah, it was in the Malachi steel cage match.
So it's under 3 months. So he's
he's not going to be ready to compete. Yeah, he's not going to be ready to compete. But I think he can just do a stare down.
For Sting is you see one Sting on the ramp, the Bucks go to block off that Sting, and it's his son, and then Sting goes off the coffin. That's the one, isn't it?
That's amazing. Yeah, that's perfect. You've nailed it. That's got to happen. We are all. I'm assuming with this one though, we are in unison that Jack Perry is going to remain TNT champion after All In.
I'm convinced. I'm
convinced. He hasn't just done that to the title to lose it a week later.
Yeah,
exactly. Which looks sick, by the way. It's so sick.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah. After building him up as much as they have done and putting as much, I say that they've fucked it over a bit, haven't they, recently? But after trying to get him over as much as they have, there's no way you'd take the title off him at this point.
No, it'd be foolish. So the next match is one that I think there's a lot of pressure on, because I think people will have eyes on it. Mercedes gets more stick than almost anyone, and followed shortly by that is Britt Baker, who obviously people often criticise as not being very good at the wrestling element of wrestling. So I think there'll be a point to prove for these two girls. I personally think this is the definition of a foregone conclusion on the card, though.
Britt wins.
I think this is going to be a cracking match. I think Mercedes can get a good match out of anyone. They're very close anyway in real life. So they've probably been training anyway together and going through some routines. I think they're going to surprise everyone with this. I agree though. The Mercedes microscopes that people seem to have at the moment is bizarre. Like what? It's insane. There's no flaws.
We know why it is. She's one of the people that left WWE, and she's someone who's in the prime of her career, who has a big following, a big cult following. They've not really lost anyone to AEW that has that kind of cult. Like Danielson, everyone loves Danielson, but Mercedes has that CM Punk level, the Roman Reigns level, psychotic fan base that will defend her, and she's worth money. She is money. Whatever she is, money. And WWE don't like that, and therefore the fans don't like it. And she's the criticism she gets is insane. She's like, I mean, I shouldn't draw into it, but when you see comparisons with like her in-ring ability compared to other members of the Horsewomen, especially a couple of them, they're not really comparable. It's a bit of an odd thing to compare, in my opinion. And she gets her criticism's insane. Like she knocked it out of the park. She was the perfect heel yesterday on Dynamite, and she
think of promos
only has good matches.
people go mad about it, but I don't even think she's that bad. Bad a promo.
She's meant to be an annoying prick, and she's an annoying prick.
And when she first came into the company, she was in that like tough position where she's, hey, I'm happy to be here, trying to be nice to get the pop. But at the same time, she's talking about how much money she's got and stuff. So she's
a heel. I thought she was. I watched the first one and thought she's come in as a heel, but it's going to take about 6 weeks for anyone to realise that she was. The first promo was a heel promo. She was self-entitled. It was, but no one was so happy that such a big name had come in, and then as soon as the show's finished, all anyone cared about was the fucking ratings. Had she drawn it and drawn ratings and whatnot? That's what anyone gave a fuck about. So she's been a heel from the off. She's a brilliant heel. She's a fantastic heel.
There's only one flaw to a game, and that is that stupid fucking finisher. Apart from
yeah.
And that shit theme song.
Yeah, I don't like the theme song. The thing is, the one she had in when she left WWE was brilliant. I love that. The one from the New Kids beat, New Kids on the Block beat. I love that song. I listened to that song so much. I was really looking forward to hearing that. And this one it's the thing is it's Def Rebel crap, and that's kind of the point, I think.
Yeah, it's designed to get the crowd chanting along with the CEO, isn't it? That was the whole fucking point of doing it.
Her WWE theme was a banger, bro.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah. That was so good. But we are all under the
thing. We're in unanimous, aren't we? Yeah. Mercedes is going to get carry Britt to a passable, if not half decent match, and it's going to be pretty routine. I think this is probably the easiest one to call on the card, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. For me, it is. Yeah, there'll be shenanigans. There'll be interference. It probably won't be a clean finish. And I don't really know where Britt goes off the back of it.
I don't think, if
I'm being perfectly honest.
I think maybe Britt ends up facing Camille next. Then after this, I think that's probably how it's going to end up, isn't it?
Britt jobbing all over the place, then Britt losing again because they need Camille to look strong. She needs to look like a Britt shithouse. They need her to be imposing, dominant, because I think she's given away a bit too much offense already. If I'm being honest, for someone who is basically the 2024 version of China, I think that she needs to look unstoppable. Like Mercedes on her own is hard enough, but now we've got someone who is a monster. But it'll be interesting to see how the match finishes more than anything, just to see how much they protect Britt in doing that, how decisive it is, and just how much interference there is. Because when we hear all this stuff about Jamie Hayter, it's not at all impossible that Jamie Hayter still comes out in this match.
That's
true. We don't know. We've heard the reports, haven't we? But how true they are or whatever, we don't know, do we?
Yeah,
no idea.
With these things, because I know the likes of Sean Ross Sapp, and he was the one that broke it, wasn't it, on the stream, and he literally just made a comment of it. But he gets told things, but how does he know that what he's being told isn't fucking bullshit?
I think his consistency is. It means I think he says stuff when he believes. He's never. All he can do is trust what he's told, obviously. But I think he's got the consistency. He doesn't tend. I don't think he gives information out unless he feels confident what he's been fed is accurate. Because I think his hit ratio is so phenomenally high. But at the same time, what he said is not conclusive that they're never going to work together. They're not going to be on the same team together. Who's to say that Jamie Hayter is not going to return and knock out Britt, and that could be a feud for a couple of months.
Yeah.
While Mercedes moves on to whoever she's going to face next. But it's interesting that the finish of the match, the winner seems decisive. The way the match finishes, I've got quite a lot of intrigue in just how they deliver that.
Yeah, because you're right. Where did he go with Britt from here? And it can't be Camille for that reason. And where did he go with Camille as well? Who's she gonna?
Where did he go with Mercedes, or who'd be next?
Who's gonna want to lose? I think it's too early for Jamie Hayter at the moment.
I think Julia Hart.
You've got to build to that.
She's Ring of Honor.
Julia Hart is probably. Well, yeah, that's true. Actually, yeah, good point.
Is she though? Because that was weird, wasn't it? All Ring of Honor did was put a set of eyes on the picture. It wasn't actually a Ring of Honor page, was it? It was just a red Julia Hart profile picture, which she's black and red anyway.
Yeah.
Well, is she actually Ring of Honor, or was are we just all jumping to conclusions here? Because no one else has said anything.
I think we're jumping to conclusions.
Yeah, it's one of those. We could see her go anywhere. The rosters are quite fluid anyway at the best of times.
Well-
So she could probably do a bit of both.
Well, okay, what is a mad one? What if Athena turned up?
That would
That'd
be
be amazing.
quality. That would be
I'd love
quality.
Ooh.
Pop.
There's been
love it.
shouts for that Mercedes Athena next year, hasn't there? At the Texas All-In.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
but did they-
because Athena was there, wasn't she, when they signed?
She's from
the
Dallas.
contract this year?
It's a hometown
Yeah.
show.
And they wouldn't
It
need
would
to
be a
build to
really
this
good place to win.
quickly. She could turn up, bit of a stare down, whatever, and then you could slowly work towards this over the next 12 months. Then
I think they've got to get that Ring of Honor title off her very soon now,
Needs to
because
get
it's
to
been
Billy.
a lot. It's been too long now. She's been down
It's
there for
the-
so long.
It's poised.
Great
She's
show,
poised to
isn't
drop
it?
the belt at Final Battle to Billy when their feud
Right.
finally ends, and then whatever they do with Athena involves something on the main AEW roster.
I
Like
mean, it
she's
had
done
to.
all she can in Ring of Honor now. Like she's done everything. She's re-established that women's division, like to the point where it was like desolate. And she's made people she's like the Mercedes, I guess you'd say, but like I'd say a slightly better worker personally, of that roster.
that's a hot take.
And I think she can carry that sort of same level of intrigue and quality to her matches with a really now bolstered and improved diverse women's division in AEW. And yeah, a feud with Mercedes seems logical at this point. I think they do that at some point, like maybe like Revolution or Dynasty next year.
Yeah, and then you could also bring back Anna Jay from her excursion and put her against Billy in Ring of Honor. Then you got heel Billy
Yeah, good
versus face Anna Jay. Because Anna
Yeah,
Jay's so much
makes
better as a
sense.
face.
What I think is going to be the match that I'm going to be most invested in for the entire show, because I love a good pop, is going to be the gauntlet match.
Yes.
Hangman
100%.
running through every fucker.
I
Only
loved
to
the bit
lose.
with Evil Uno last night on Dynamite. I thought that was
I know.
such a quality way to spend like 45 seconds a minute.
When
And
he
it
dragged
broke
the
my heart, that
suitcase over him as well.
Yeah.
It broke my
Brilliant.
heart because I was really hoping that when people realised that they're being stupid and that Hangman's actually doing what anyone would do, he's the good guy and all this, that the Dark Order would have had his back again. Oh, I'm gutted. It's not fair.
Well, now they definitely won't have his back here, so
Yeah.
that one's been put to bed. But so, I mean, we
He's
could
gonna
probably
destroy
talk.
any Dark Order members in that casino.
He
gauntlet,
could
isn't
No,
push
no, I
him
don't wanna see
even
anyone, no.
further over the edge if he loses, which would be quality.
Well, I mean, I still think again, because I'm absolutely convinced that Danielson's winning, and it's going to be Swerve v Hangman at All Out. So I don't think he's winning the Battle Royal. I think that he will lose his shit. And I don't know who eliminates. Well, it's not who eliminates him because it's just one win and done, isn't it? It's just first
He doesn't
four
need-
wins.
Yeah. I'm going for Mox to win, I think.
I'm
I'd
100%
go
Mox.
Mox as well.
Yeah.
Mox
Mox
versus
makes perfect
Danielson all
sense.
out.
Especially if
makes perfect
Danielson
sense.
wins.
Yeah. That'd be a good one actually. That.
Yeah, again, it
Mox
really
Danielson
depends
all
on
out would
the
sell
main
tickets
event
in
win,
so
doesn't it?
quick as well.
And
Yeah,
that could be
Mox
how
and
we
Danielson. Yeah, 100%.
That could be how we finally fuck off the Blackpool Combat Club then as well.
Yeah,
Whoa,
yeah. I mean,
I
it's
don't
dead
know.
now, isn't it?
Oh, don't say that.
Yeah.
I'm taking my jumper at the weekend.
Yeah, well, you got to get as much use out of it as you can.
Yeah, before it
You
dies.
want to. Yeah, I mean, Pac's going to unsettle things in there, isn't he?
Yeah.
Spoilers. Sorry.
So, if we say there are 3 surprise entrants / debuts, who are your 3 surprise entrants / debuts each?
Okay, for me, it's debut Ricochet. That's how we see Ricochet make his debut AEW, and a return of both Switchblade Jay White and John Moxley.
See,
They're
I
the
agree with
safest
the
and most
last.
logical options.
I agree with the last 2, but I think Ricochet will cost Ospreay. I think that's how you
Well-
set up the Ricochet Ospreay feud.
That's
Ricochet is a
fallen
heel.
flat. Ricochet cannot be a heel. He is not a heel.
I think he's part of the Don Callis family. I think he's Don Callis' replacement
You
for
think?
Will Ospreay. And I think his Don Callis is going to call his favour in now that he has stuff with Ospreay. And it's probably going to be Ricochet.
Yeah, and Ricochet's going to
Interesting.
cost Ospreay.
Yeah,
And then you can do the Don Callis family and United Empire.
It'll
Who
certainly
am
be
I?
a surprise. 'Cause I think everyone is
think-
going to be sitting there waiting for Casino Gauntlet. Everyone's going to be sitting there waiting for Ricochet,
Yeah.
aren't they?
I
It'd be
don't know.
quite fun if the Gauntlet's first. He doesn't come out. It was we're not getting him tonight, and then he comes out in that way, I suppose.
So I'd say Mystico's one of the surprises.
Definitely, yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, he'll fly back over with Claudio on TK's
Fletcher.
on his jet.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Carl
And-
Fletcher's over there as well. So I
Oh,
think,
right.
yeah. And we
And
can't
I-
not have Fletch in some capacity in the gauntlet.
Oh, that Gauntlet is going to be 15 to 18 people, I'd imagine, and
It's gonna be like
I
a
think
rumble in it.
I think we could
Yeah,
get two
let's-
debuts. I think we could get someone else in there. I don't know who, but I think we could get someone else in there.
Yeah.
You could
I think
get
it's going to go longer than the other ones have. By quite a bit.
How long have the other ones gone?
like 30 minutes.
I'm
Was
just
it?
having a little look now. Let me go to my ever reliable and loved cage match.
It's
I just don't know
but
who
they've been
else
on
you can
TV, so I think on
debut.
pay-per-view you can afford to have it go a bit longer.
Yeah, there's also the fact
You could
they
just
do a
bring
couple
people
of
in a bit quicker than you usually do, I suppose, can't you? Like,
You could do Minoru
Yeah.
Suzuki just for the Kazinin Airport.
So the last one went. Oh, for fuck's sake, I didn't put it on there. The last one went 22 minutes, and the first one went. Clicked on the same one again, so I've got 22 minutes again. That's clever. And the first one went a total of 18 and a half minutes. So yeah, I reckon we're looking at just under half an hour.
easy do half an hour with an extra
Yeah.
4 or 5 people.
Yeah.
I think Suzuki, Mystico, and then I think he'd bring someone else in from a different company.
Yeah, I do.
I just don't know who. Like you could, I don't know.
Zack
who
Sabre
you'd bring in
Jr.
from New Japan.
That
You
could
could do
be in it.
That would be
Zach
a
could
great
be
one.
good pop.
He's there.
Yeah.
If Zack Sabre Jr. comes out, I'm going to really push a "fuck the Tories" chant as well.
You won't be the only one, mate. Fucking
We've got to get a "fuck the." We've got to go
Yeah.
for a "fuck the Tories" chant as soon as he gets in the ring.
Who else from Nuge can you do?
Soraya's
I just
brother,
want-
he'll be on there.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah.
No, he won't. No.
Lower the tone.
The dud will be. I say dud. I don't want to be rude to him, but I just don't care. Kip Sabian will be in it. I reckon.
Maybe
Yeah.
Grado.
Oh, I don't want Grado in there either. He can
Yeah,
fuck
got
off.
it.
as well.
It means nothing to me. That's proper taking a spot from someone. At least with Zack Sabre Jr., he's had some memorable matches in AEW.
Yeah.
And so you can
And he's also
justify
just
him being
won
in
the
there.
G1 as well.
Exactly, yeah. So I think we'll get him. I think we get Ricochet. I think we get Jay White and Moxley returning, and it wouldn't shock me if if there's one more surprise in there that I'm not thinking of right now.
I think
they're going to they'll save the Hurt Syndicate for All Out, I'd imagine.
Matt, did they make any more matches on Collision?
They made the trios match, which we're going to get to shortly. They confirmed the 4th team in that, and we're going to move on to that shortly after we've spoken about this and another couple of matches.
Wait, who's the 4th?
So did you see all like the backstage segments live at the show?
Yeah.
As far as I'm aware, we did. We think we did anyway, unless they threw a curveball out there. They didn't show us something.
Unless there's one they haven't showed. Yeah.
I think we get all the ones you have mentioned. I also think we get Michael Oku. I think that's fucking.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, I think we did
Oakley's
as well, yeah.
appearing, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe Ricky Starks as well.
That match last night. Ricky Starks.
Wait, who's Blackpool
Look
Combat
up Ricky
Club's
Starks.
4th, 3rd? Oh, Pac.
Yeah, he's. I see. That's another thing that's going to contribute to the downfall of the Blackpool Combat Club for me. As much.
Well,
as
this
I'd
is a
love them to win
fucking
this
Brit
deal.
in the Blackpool Combat Club.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, man, Regal's not even from fucking Blackpool. He's from Birmingham or somewhere, isn't he?
Oh,
Yeah.
Blackpool. No, sorry. He's Wigan, I think.
No, he's from fucking.
Is he?
Midlands, isn't he somewhere? Yeah, Birmingham or
Oh,
something
right.
like that. He just trained up in Blackpool.
Oh, right. Oh, okay. That's really.
It would have been so much better if it was the Grizzled Young Veterans.
Oh, yes, that's a
Well,
good shout.
Yeah,
They
Zach
could be
Gibson
on
could
the.
appear in the gauntlet as well.
They could be on the zero
On the pre-show.
because they're
Yeah.
at Rev Pro the day before.
Yeah.
True.
But I
was
just
hoping
think they'd have been so
in that
much better
match
with
with Alpha
them
Friday.
and Pac.
Right.
I feel like he fits them.
Yeah.
Well, he fits both, to be fair.
That's what I thought was coming out last night. I was convinced it was going to be Pac and Grizzled Young. I thought when it got to it, I thought Pat was going to come out first. And then when obviously the Blackpool Combat Club music hit, I then got very excited. It was going to be Moxley.
I'd say I lost my shit completely. I thought it was Moxley. And like, it was
Yeah.
shit because I love Pac. And like, but I was a bit
Oh
disappointed.
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Convinced it was Mox.
Yeah.
Also, like the ending to Okada versus Claudio doesn't make sense now.
The
'Cause I
what?
thought
Sorry.
it was gonna. I thought Okada versus Claudio. It doesn't make sense now. I thought they was gonna run
I
it back
think-
at All In.
I
Or
think
is it gonna be an
think,
all-out thing?
I think Claudio wins the Continental Classic.
You think?
I don't. I think
because
TK still
they've been
wins
doing
it.
the
I
whole
think
thing like because he's lost 2 time limit draws, and this is kind of him not being able to get the job done. And obviously with the CC,
I
you've
think he
got
wins it.
20
I'd be
minutes.
fucking over the moon if he gets that big moment because he really deserves that.
100%.
100%.
Yeah,
I think he
AEW's
wins
a
it,
wrestling
and
company, and he's one of the best.
I think he
Definitely.
wins it, and then Okada moves on to the world title picture.
So he misses
Yeah.
out on getting Okada.
I think Okada's in the gauntlet, to be honest. And
Yeah,
But he's
unless
going to
they-
be now, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a bit shit because again, Okada's a stadium wrestler, and again, I mean, they could have. I don't know how they could have pivoted away from it, but they surely could have found someone else to be in the fucking trios match, and then they could have had Claudio v Okada in the stadium because it's worthy of
Yeah,
it.
it should have done
Yeah,
that because
definitely.
time limit draw. You should have just been able to. Tony Khan should just pulled a fucking pin and gone. Yeah, the Young Bucks are getting their own way. We're running it back 1 hour at Wembley.
It was great heel heat that though from Matt Jackson.
Oh, I'm gonna be so pissed off if they run Okada Kenny next year at Texas.
Oh, fuck, that'd be
That will
amazing.
make me so angry.
That'll make me buy a
I
fucking
missed
plane
out on
ticket.
it. Just mate, that would make me go into so much debt.
Would it be worth it though?
Yeah, would it though?
100%
I don't know, man. It's like the flight's cheap. They're just fucking hotels over there are well expensive.
The next
Yeah.
match is my piss break. It's your piss break. It's everyone's piss break apart from Andy's.
It's not my break. No, not at all. I'm a Jericho-holic.
So I reckon we can get to this in a matter of one name and move on. Who is winning the FTW Championship match, Jericho or Hook?
Hook,
Big Bill.
Hook in a
It's
squash.
the conclusion.
I think
of
Hook's
the
gonna
story.
win.
There is no
Hook
anyone.
wins. Move on.
There's no way.
Hook
there's no
wins,
way it's
and
anything.
on to the three-way. Nope, we're still going.
And we can fuck off the
It doesn't benefit
FTW
anyone if Hook
Championship.
loses.
Put it back on
Yeah,
Taz's
get rid of that.
mantelpiece.
Retire it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we think
And
that
then I
Joe's
think
going to turn
that's
up for
when
that?
we
Do we
can
think Joe's
actually-
going to be out there? Even the numbers?
I don't know. I think Billington might, because they're gonna have to fit him in there somewhere to get him a moment after the other night.
Mm.
With Jericho talking about his. I did think that promo was class, by the way. What
That was the best promo I've had.
The Dynamite Kid, apart from the fact
Yeah.
that he's a blood relative and his nephew.
That was the best
Well, no,
Jericho
I think
promo
that's
for
it.
quite a while. I loved it. It was really good. It was really, really good. If he'd cut that promo 3 years ago, everyone would have been lapping it up.
Oh yeah, it was brilliant. But
because
I
he
think
cut-
that's
it's
Hook wins.
It's because he cut the promo now.
It's done its job.
Cardiff, England
It's done
as
its
well.
job. Hook's quite
Cardiff England was
quite
funny.
over despite Hook's quite over despite me just not getting it at all. So it's clearly done what it was intended to in a meandering, slow,
Yeah.
fucking,
Yeah.
get there
Yeah.
eventually kind of way. And that's it. Move on. Done. Jericho can
Move
take a
on.
break if this deal's signed. Get him off TV for 3 or 4 months. Push Big Bill to the moon. Have
Bye,
Big Bill
guys.
bury him.
That's yeah.
Right. Again, probably the second match, probably my opinion, again, just my opinion, the second least intriguing match of the night for me is the 3-way for the tag titles. I'm not sure how much we need to say about
Fucking
this. They tried their
I
best
think
this
we all
week.
have a pretty good
They
idea
tried.
of what we want to happen, don't we? Or it was of turning the Acclaimed heel and have the shit out of Billy Gunn and send him into retirement.
That's what happened. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. Like so,
Has to.
look,
Gotta happen.
FTR and Acclaimed are distracted with each other. Young Bucks get the win. After the match, Billy Gunn stays in the ring with them. Then they turn and they shake the shit out of Billy Gunn.
Then
That
they
works
go-
for me.
well, then they go-
Other than that, I
Right,
could not
I'm
give a
out
fuck
there.
what happens.
Yeah, I don't see the Young Bucks
Do you know
losing the
what?
tag titles.
That's a good shout, Blake. I didn't think about that. They beat the shit. I was
the
saying,
was
guns
that?
come out.
obviously joking. That Chuck comes out to save Billy, but clearly that's a piss take. But the Gun's coming out to be a good one because he's the fucking dad at the end of the day, and the Bang Bang Gang.
Yeah,
seem
and he
to be
doesn't have to
faces
join
these
Bang
days.
Bang Gang. Or like, he can just go into the back and
Yeah,
fucking retire.
yeah, they can save him, send him home to rest up. And then you have a feud then with
And they're
the
faces now,
heel
aren't they?
acclaim.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
really.
so I
I
think
really
that would
like
actually work really
Hangman
well.
Gang. I really like them.
Yeah. Well done,
And you
Blake.
can. Thank you, mate. Thank you. I'm full of ideas, Tony. If you want to come and sign me.
Yeah, it's
I just
pretty
wanna see
much
the
the
Acclaim
writings on the
turn
wall
heel.
with this one. I think the Young Bucks
It's been
win.
going on too long.
They keep the titles. Yeah, what? Yeah, because they lost last year, so I think this year they get their win back. Yeah, we keep the Elite storyline going in a slightly different direction now. Hopefully, with them defending the belts a bit more, with some more focus put on some new tag teams, and hopefully by this time in 6 months we can actually make the tag team division a bit more of a focal point of the show rather than a bit of an afterthought. And the
Yeah.
Acclaim just need to just change, just turn heel, get rid of Billy Gunn, drop the scissoring act, and then see where we're at in 6 months.
Yeah.
Eventually, a Bowen
FDR could do with a bit of sprucing up a little bit as well. Maybe a heel turn will do them good as well.
Oh, do you know what? I thought they would turn
Is
heel
it
last week.
confirmed? Motor City Machine Guns have gone to WWE. Is it confirmed?
Well,
yet?
no, it's not confirmed.
No.
No.
So you could
It's not
do
confirmed, but it's
the
looking
Young Bucks
likely.
win, and then they're like, "We've beaten every tag team here. There's no more challenges. We're not turning up anymore." And then you could have their music hit, or any fucking music hit that is a new tag team that could spice things
Or-
up. Even just fucking
I'd love
Aussie
it.
Open
I'd
just
love
come
it
back.
personally.
We do all of that.
You could just
the acclaim twat Billy Gunn. They turn heel. 12 months down the line, Bowens turns face again, splits, and we have that. But for this match, we have the Lucha Brothers music play, and out comes Penta and Phoenix. Only it's not Penta and Phoenix. It's Chris Jericho in a Penta mask and Sammy Guevara in Phoenix
For
mask.
fuck's sake.
That would be the biggest troll of all time. Honestly, that would get better heat than anything.
You could do the Lucha Brothers, and you just put two random Mexicans in the mask, just like CMLL do.
Honestly, it's so it's the kind of thing fucking WWE would have done in the 90s. Well, they did do with fake Razor and Diesel.
They also did fake Mystico when Mystico got sacked. They
Yeah.
just
Yeah, that's right. Maybe it's Sin
mask
Cara
to
will
someone
do
else.
something, Yeah.
Yeah. They just get someone else the mask. It was like no.
Just no.
Just to clarify,
Just
I don't
absolutely
actually
fucking
want.
no.
I tried
That's
thinking
that.
of who it was, and I was like, no.
But I would love the Lucha Brothers to turn up and actually have all made friends again and sign contracts, and off we go into the sunset with a rejuvenated Lucha Brothers run.
It would be very amusing if that was the case.
It'd be a big old fuck you to WWE as well.
Just open the checkbook.
With money
Tony,
talks
but,
at the end of the day.
Yeah, of course. Give them whatever they want, and sort your merch out as well.
Yeah, sorry, man.
Stop selling
Sorry,
Penta
ticket
masks.
prices as well.
I
You
want to buy a Penta mask. So yeah, we agree on that. Anyway, should we move on to the probably my
penultimate one?
favourite
Penultimate match. We've got the ladder match, which again, another match which it'll be a spot fest. But again, these matches have always got the ability to steal a show.
Oh god, I mean it's a tricky one to call because I don't know whether they pull the trigger with Killswitch and Christian yet. I think it would
There's
get
more.
a big
I think there's more legs in it. There's more legs in it. I think still.
Yeah, I think
They've
it
not
might
hinted at it
happen, so
enough.
that's why I think the patriarchy keep the belts for another month or two, and then we get Killswitch, Copeland, and Jack Perry in some kind of weird storyline where we end up with the Jurassic Express reunion and Cope and Christian in AEW as tag team for the first time. I don't know how it manifests, but that's what I see.
think that was
long term.
I think they planned on that, but I think the ship sailed with it personally. I think that was definitely what they were planning to do. But it'd be very hard. I don't know. They can do. I really thought we'd get Edge and Christian in a tag match at this pay-per-view, but obviously, that was very unfortunately put to pay.
I think the finish of this is going to be Luchasaurus is climbing the ladder, and Christian climbs over Luchasaurus and gets the belt.
I'll be up for that. That'll be good fun.
He uses him as a ladder himself, and then obviously he holds all three belts, gives one to Mother Wayne again, and it just sows the seeds for Luchasaurus to eventually
finally
him off. And
yeah,
hopefully for me, win the House of Black. I think he'd be great there. Maybe I'm the only one with that.
Yeah, this match will slap though. Like, let's be honest. Like, you got 12
definitely.
people in there who can, really put on a decent performance, and we can't really. It's hard to predict, I suppose, but one thing we do know is that there are going to be some
I can't
tables
wait to hear
broken.
the
There's going to be
music.
some broken bodies and what have you.
I can't see there being a title change here. I think it's too soon for them. There's legs to run with Christian. It doesn't work as much unless they put in a trigger on Kill Switch. It doesn't make sense for it to happen yet. I think there's a good couple of months, even probably until Full Gear, they can probably play this out.
Yeah.
So who does beat them for the titles then?
I don't know. Yeah.
That could be a United Empire thing.
Could be. Depends who you add to
predict.
United Empire. I don't know. I couldn't see them sticking Osprey in the trios.
But you could do like Osprey wins every belt apart from the world title, and then finally he gets the big one.
No, we said it a few weeks ago. Kenny Omega's going to come and steal all of the belts.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
And he's not going to have a trio. He's just going to do it by himself.
Yeah, he's just going to win all 3 belts by himself. It's just the rules.
I think as we said a couple of weeks ago as well, there's a potential in here for this match for a couple of returns. Isn't there? Julia Hart is clearly going to return. Spraying Wayne with some mist. It has to happen. You've got Jay White, yeah. And
I think Jay's in the gauntlet. I think they split. They've kept Jay as singles run now.
If he gets a new.
Oh yeah, but he could still interfere though, couldn't he? And obviously with them being good guys, you could have kind of, them being, interference with somebody else anyway on the side of Christian, and then Jay White turns up to even the odds.
Yeah, I thought we were going to get Julia Hart lights out. Julia Hart returns and spits the mist in the face of Mother Wayne, but
how can you do lights out in Wembley when it's going to be bright as fuck?
Oh shit, yeah, that's a good.
It won't be at that time of day. Like, it won't be. It's getting dark. It'll be by 8 o'clock.
Yeah, a bit further down line.
By 9 o'clock, it's pitch black dark.
I'd say
you have to do the Darby match later on as well, then.
Yeah,
because you can't do the lights out scene for Sting.
Don't need the lights out. It's coming out of a coffin.
Yeah, but if you want to do where they show the ramp of the 2 Stings and then he comes out of the coffin, you're gonna need the lights to dim out, aren't you, to do the 2 Stings, or people are just gonna see them beforehand.
Halfway through the main card, it will get dark. So I think if you do those 2 matches in the latter half of the card, then it'll be fine. It'll be dark enough.
Wait, yeah, you thought right, to be fair, because last year it got dark around the Jericho match, didn't it? Jericho Osprey.
Well, it was dark in the fucking match, like last year with Christian and Swerve versus Darby and Sting. It was dark enough, because it was. I remember it being when the lights went out and Seek and Destroy hit. I remember it was hot dark.
I think one thing I'd like to say, if I was putting money on something happening in this match, it's Julia Hart returning and spraying mist on somebody, most likely Mother Wayne.
Yeah, I'd agree. Just one little thing about the tag titles. I know we went over it already, but as I was saying with the Young Bucks saying they're beating everyone, you could do the Golden Lovers then.
Yeah.
You could just bring the Golden Lovers out when Kenny's healthy.
That's a match waiting to happen at some point when Kota is now that Kota's healthy-ish, and when Kenny is back and able to take bumps again. I think that's a match you can run at World's End or Full Gear if it's not too soon. If not, maybe early next year. Yeah, because the match that they had in New Japan was one of the best tag team matches I've ever seen. I'm not just saying that. That's tailor-made for AEW as well. However many years ago it was, a rematch.
There'd be so many people not seeing that as well. Yeah. It'd be so good to get their eyes on what Kota Ibushi can actually fucking do when he's not being stupid and dancing on his broken ankle.
I can't think of anything else with this trios though that we haven't already said. I think the Blackpool Combat Club will put in a great performance there, but I just don't think they're going to be in the running to win, especially with a team made up of the BCC and an outsider in Pac.
Yeah, so it's clearly just been thrown together just to shove.
It's to get Pac on the card, isn't it?
Yeah, it's to get Pac.
Exactly that. Yeah.
Fucking over any Pac.
He has been fucked over, bro. Death Trial fucked him over last year. Fucked him over with the injury.
Yeah, can't really catch a break. But he's getting the title match at All Out though, so he's got that full back on. And
I forgot he's got that. Yeah, so he's fighting Osprey or MJF, isn't he?
Yeah.
Him v Osprey seems like such a. Yeah, I'm sure that Osprey's winning. Osprey, Pac, and then MJF Garcia. They make sense to me.
Osprey Pac would be amazing.
Did you see the
match? It'll be one at
Wembley,
but
the
one that they had at Red Pro when they went 30 minutes was nuts.
They can do so much crazy shit together, bro. The chemistry they can have. Yeah, he's amazing.
He's fucking phenomenal.
Wasn't he meant to be the world title as well?
Visa issues and stuff, isn't it?
Talking of anybody who can get a good match with anybody, the final match of the night, the main event,
the most unpredictable main event in AEW history.
Oh my god, we can spend half an hour.
I keep switching my mind. I know. If you ask me now, I'm saying Danielson wins, but
he has to.
I'm not confident on that at all.
Oh, he has to, man. That promo last night was fucking brilliant.
Danielson's winning. The vision of for AEW, like they didn't have like the visual of 50,000 people, yes, chanting when Daniel Bryan has got the title in the final few months of his career is going to be played in AEW history. It's going to be the Andre the Giant being slammed kind of image for them. Danielson has to win.
Yeah. The marketing they can do with that as well is amazing.
Well, they
he has to win.
It's clear cut. He has to win. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Hangman plays into the finish, and we get Danielson winning, Hangman and Swerve at All Out. Danielson Moxley seems like the most logical next step because Moxley makes his return, wins the Casino. Danielson, as the champion, can go on to have a 3-month reign, dropping it to Swerve in Washington at their home states.
Exactly. He can beat Moxley at Grand Slam. He can beat Darby at the 5-year anniversary. He can beat one other person who makes sense for his. I don't know who it could be, but there'll be one other defense in there. And then he loses it back. But also, very quickly, how good did that All Out card look shaping up? Then, if we're going to have Osprey v Pac, MJF v Daniel Garcia, Bryan v Moxley, and Swerve v Hangman again.
And Willow
start with a stipulation, yeah. Probably Mariah v Mina. Special cards already shaping up.
That's for a title as well. Is a Willow.
Yeah, she's a CMLL Women's Champion.
Yeah.
Because when Stephanie Baker left, she stepped in and won the belt.
Hey, CMLL's got so much faith in AEW. I love it.
Oh, they're loving it, Andy. I wouldn't be surprised if Hangman wins the Casino and he chooses to forfeit his title match because he wants Swerve instead.
Swerve. And then you get on that Dynamite, you get like another gauntlet.
Because his hatred for Swerve outweighs.
It means more to him than
yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised to say you've got the title match All In, and he's like, no, I want fucking Swerve instead.
But they've not actually said when the title match is for, have they, or have they? Isn't it just for a future world title shot?
The future
they
one.
haven't.
I think they pulled the trigger on a lot.
A few people have speculated it could be like a Money in the Bank thing. I hope not. I don't want Hangman coming and winning the title at the end.
No.
I could do Hangman winning the end of All In. That'd be funny.
And I say that off Daniel Bryan because that would be the most WWE thing they could finish the show with.
Yeah.
They can't. Yeah, actually, they can't do that. That'd be so.
Ruin it for me.
It'll be a terrible booking decision. They won't. Daniel Bryan has to win. Bryan Danielson, has to win. I am not convinced of it, but I would give it 5-1 on odds and 10-1 Swerve wins.
He has to, so that we can all go to the Nana and Max.
Exactly.
In a good mood. And I'll be
singing. Everyone's going to be singing the countdown for weeks afterwards, anyway.
There's a video knocking around of me and Gav singing the final countdown last night. It was very good.
Well, you should drop it on the timeline.
Follow the Twitter page and like the page and request us to drop that footage. Request Andy to drop that footage.
Peer pressure's a motherfucker, so go for it.
I'm gonna hack me Mrs. phone and
delete it.
Existence, yeah.
Well, I think we've kind of wrapped up there, haven't we? We've given our predictions. We've fantasy booked about 10 debuts, 15 returns, 25 title changes, and about 8 heel turns. So let's hope 10% of it comes through true, and we've got a pretty good show on our hands.
Yeah, we are. I think it's going to be a great show. Like I said, we'll all be there. Like probably, apart from Dav, Sorry, Dav, we'll miss you, obviously. But we'll be there sort of at some point. So keep an eye on like the Twitter page and the Discord for like where we'll be. We'll probably like announce where we're going to be. So anyone who's listening can come and like say hi and whatever, and shoot the breeze about what we expect to happen at All In and everything like that, and going forward. But yeah, we're looking forward to the show. Looking forward to meeting all of you. Any last words, fellas?
Can I ask one thing off from each of you before we go? I'll say one name and just give me a yes or no as to whether you think he's going to be there in some form.
No, Omega's not going to be there.
Yes,
Blake?
Omega is going to be there.
Yes.
Yes.
I think yes.
I think no.
I don't think he's taking any bumps, but I think he's there. He has to be. He's part of the whole creation of this thing.
I think it's yes. I think he has to do something with the books.
As long as he doesn't turn up and reform the Golden Jet, we'll all just be buzzing whatever he does.
He's going to join the learning tree.
Jesus Christ.
He's a clip of the bounty hunter there telling you need to respect Chris Jericho. I need a soundboard. We need to set a soundboard up for this. That'd be a great moment, that.
Well, on that note, I'm going to go and eat some Chinese spare ribs.
Yeah.
And
excellent. Well, we'll look forward to seeing you there.
Yeah, if anyone, I will be at the Green Man. I'll be at the Green Man from 1 o'clock on Sunday. And I'll be there until logically I've got to walk to Wembley. So hopefully we will see a lot of you there.
Enjoy the show, everyone.
Enjoy the show.
Have a good weekend, fellas. See you Sunday.
All right. See ya.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
See ya.